It's like there's a band at the top of the screen. What is that? I don't even know. I don't know. Instagram's confusing me today. It is Wednesday, so of course I'm sitting outside football, waiting for Milo. I thought we'd do a little live for half an hour while I'm killing some time. I'm always a little bit nervous to do a live outside football in case someone sees me and comes to say hi, but someone just did that, so I feel like it's a bit of a lightning won't strike twice. Also, oh man, that's going to get annoying if I can't stop. Also, I have put on my lights, and we've talked about this in previous lives, that I'm a little bit nervous of that draining my battery. But I've decided that it's worth the risk, and it would be funny if I'm not even going to touch wood because it would just be so on brand for me, but it would be funny if this did drain my battery while I was live on YouTube. It would just be exactly what would happen to me, is the thing. That's exactly what would happen. I'm going to try and stick you to this window, actually, because I can't. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Hey, look at that. What do we think? Is that good? Does that work? Is that an okay aspect? Let me just turn that off. Oh, hang on. Oh no, we still need that one. We still need that one. Oh, hello. Thank you for joining me, coming and keeping me company while I'm sitting in the cold car. Hey Tracy, Jojo, Caroline. Great video. You back in the day doing makeup. Oh, if you didn't already see the video that I posted on my MissBudgetBeauty channel, I did a kind of a revisit. It'll definitely fall off at some point. Listen, you don't know. It might not, because I've got a really good suctiony case on now. Every time I put it down, it sticks to whatever I put it down onto. Oh, where did I get the hand warmer from? From Amazon. I linked it in my... Did I link it? No, I didn't. It's going to be on Sundays. I've already sorted out Sunday's vlog. I'm so ahead this week. Yeah, I've already sorted out Sunday's vlog, and it is linked in there. It is, but I got it from Amazon. Agree with Jojo, great video. Oh, I looked so young. I know, I did. Just a baby face. I had a couple of people message me recently and say, you know, you never know when it's just like, I'm just trying to be nice, and when it's genuine. But I do get the occasional comment, you look so young. And truly, I think this is the thing. Hi, Karen. Hello. This is Karen's our best customer of all time. Our smoke and matches all-star customer. Just so everyone knows, she is our number one. Where was I even going with this? Oh yeah, benefit of a fat face. Not a fat face, that's derogatory. A round face. Benefit of a round face is youthful. It is just like, this is youthful. People are filling their faces to make them fatter. And I have all of the fill already. It's already there. It's already there. I'm actually really looking forward to, as I get older, losing some of my facial padding. I once read, I've probably said this a million times, but I feel like it's worth repeating, because anything that is positive aging is worth repeating. I once read an article, Sharon Stone's interview, and she was talking about how when she turned 50, she got a brand new face because she got this bone structure that she'd never had before, because she lost all of the volume in her face, and she had this like more angular look. I'm really looking forward to that, because I've had a very round face my entire life, and I think that's going to be a fun change. Surely not fatter, just more collagen. It's not, no, you're right. It's not a fat face. It's not. Although, did you see the pictures that I posted of, because this is a great example of this. I posted pictures of Lee and I going to the same place over a set amount of years. It was the running park pictures from recently over our anniversary. And I think the first pictures might have been something like 2017. My face is unrecognizably large. Even my friend messaged me and said, oh my God, what's happening with your face in this picture? I am telling you that it's just age. My face is slimming out with age because I was there or thereabouts the same weight in that picture as I am now. It is just like you lose the volume in your face, and that's why people do fillers. Anyway, man, we've talked about fat faces for far too long. So if you didn't see, I posted on my Miss Budget Beauty channel a video where I was kind of revisiting a favorites video from 10 years ago, and it was so fun. It was so fun to go back and look at it, and someone said that I had all the same mannerisms as I do now I did then, which is kind of funny because it is true. It's like I feel like the same and completely different all at the same time, but I still have a lot of the same favorites. Oh, Karen, you're too kind. My lips, Angelina Jolie kind of volume, were made fun of as a kid, and now they're plumping their lips even bigger than mine. Yes, exactly. Body types and facial features should not be a trend, 100%. Although someone pulled me up the other day because I commented on something. I was just joking. But even then, I don't feel like this is, you tell me. It was a post where a girl was in a dress. She was spinning around in a dress and being like, look at me now and look at me now. And she'd put socks in a bra. And obviously the comments were like, we're doing this again. And I think I commented something along the lines of like, cleavage is back, noted. To me, that is a style. That's not a body shape thing, because you can have cleavage with real small boobs and cleavage with real big boobs. I mean, to be fair, if you've got real big boobs, kind of difficult not to have cleavage. But all that is to say, I feel like over the past 10, 15 years, we have seen a real dip in the cleavage. It used to be, you know, Wonder Bra. It was like, hello boys, va-va-voom. And people are not doing that anymore. It's like bralettes or braless. For Gen Z, it seems like that is the trend. It's not, you know, up and squeezed together like it was 10 years ago. Anyway, someone told me off for making like bodies a trend, which I don't think I was. I feel like cleavage, it's like hemlines, or it's necklines. It's literally, that is the style of the moment. Although maybe it is kind of within the like emaciated versus curvy thing. I don't know. Have you seen the news about Next having to change one of their ad campaigns because the model is too skinny? No, but how skinny was she if they had to change the campaign? Because I would have thought if she was within a healthy weight, even if she was very skinny, if she was within a healthy weight, I would have thought they would have taken that as an opportunity to call that body positivity from a PR perspective, because body positivity is not at all specifically only larger bodies. And so because they removed the ad, that to me says that the model was not within a healthy weight range, which is sad. Cleavage bras come and go with trends. I still hide my boobs. Another childhood trauma from my hero in chic. Oh, yeah, okay, got it. From the skinny era. Yeah, no, I get it. Cleavage is out of style at the moment. I would have said the same thing. And then this girl, socks in the bra, and I was like, oh, cleavage is back. Do you know what I think? And again, this is totally a trend thing. And it's just like, I think that a lot of this is because the youthful people are not doing it. I think cleavage is aging. I think that cleavage, I think if well, put it this way. I tried on something for the Christmas party. I was thinking about this today. Tried on something for the Christmas party, which I feel good in. But it was like a figure-hugging black dress with a good amount of cleavage and some leg. It was quite a, you know, showy dress. But still, you know, not crazy. Knee length with a little bit of a slit in the side and a black dress. But I put it on and I thought, I look my age. And instead, I wore a white suit. I mean, it kind of looked flashy, but I wasn't showing much skin at all, really. It was my sparkly crop top, but no cleavage at all. And really, although it's a crop top and it hasn't got anything underneath it, you're not really seeing really any midriff because of how high my trousers are. But that I felt a lot more youthful in. And I think a lot of it is the cleavage. Also, there's the whole thing of like, you know, crepey skin on my chest, which is not, but I'm just so paranoid about it. I spent years as a teenager on sunbeds, and specifically I had one of those facial solarium things from Argos, those Philips facial solariums. My mum bought me one because I had really bad acne on my chest and my arms and my back, and I used to sit for hours with this thing just on my chest, and now I could weep at the thought of the thin skin being absolutely destroyed on my chest by the UV. Oh, terrible. Oh, next have said she's healthy, but the media is saying she's too skinny because of the angles. Right. I feel like they shouldn't take it down if that's true. If they can back it up with this is a healthy model, then I don't think they should take it down, because everyone should be represented. That's the whole point. Young teens have always stuffed their bras and rolled up their skirts. Facts. It's body shaming. People should be whatever shape and size they are. Have you heard of thin privilege? Basically, slim people get treated and respected more. No, totally. So, weirdly, I've got a lot of stuff comes up about body positivity on my feed. And there's one particular woman that I follow. You may have seen her reel because it went viral, where she'd gone on a date, and then she came home from the date, and she was tearful because she kind of was like, she videoed before the date, I'm doing this, you know, I've got put makeup on, I've done this, I hope it goes well. And then like half an hour later, she's back in the car and she's like, we were there for 10 minutes and he said it's just not going to work out. And it was clearly the way she looked. And then she posted all of these pictures of like, this is what my profile is. I'm not catfishing anyone. I am completely who I am. And it was all a very realistic representation of who this woman was. And it was just so sad. She's a lovely, I really enjoy her stuff. I can't remember her name. I can't remember anyone's name on Instagram, but I am shown a lot of stuff because I interact with a lot of things like that. And a lot of people do talk about the drastic change in how they're treated in the world when they lose or gain weight. People who kind of yo-yo. And I totally can believe that. I mean, not that it's the same, but when I put myself together, when I like, you know, go out in the world like I usually look in vlogs, versus when I put myself together and I go out in the world, different, you know? And I know that I'm in complete control of that, and that is different. But I do recognize the difference in how I'm treated. I do also recognize the difference in how I behave and how I hold myself when I am feeling good, when I am dressed up and I've, you know, made an effort with my appearance. I remember this one particular occasion, and I've told you this story. You've probably heard it, but someone had a go at me at school, a parent. It was actually a grandparent. Really quite aggressively shouted at me in my car. I was completely in the right. I won't bore you with the story again, but I was very nicely dressed. I was going down to London that night. I was dropping my love at school. I was driving to the train station. I was going to London to go to Paris with Emma. I was feeling myself in my outfit. My hair was done. My makeup was done. Usually, the way that I was dressed, dropping the kids off for school, I would not have felt the confidence that I felt that day. Usually, it was giving like Waynetta slop, and I wouldn't have had the power behind myself. Wouldn't have come across in the same way. But I went in there and I confronted that man, and I was angry. I then immediately felt terrible and wanted to call the school and apologize, because I felt like, I mean, I didn't swear or anything. I didn't even really raise my voice, but I felt like I was causing a scene at school and it was not appropriate. I felt really guilty about it, and I shouldn't have, because the old man was completely out of line. He called me a cretin. And he said it was not very ladylike what I was doing. But really, to this day, I wish I'd punched him in the face. But that, I was emboldened by how I was dressed. And I don't know whether or not that was because I was feeling good about myself, or it was because when I'm dressed a certain way and I look a certain way, I am treated better. And so my confidence to then go into that situation was more because of my past experience of how I've been treated when I look that way. It's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. But I do recognize there is a difference. Hey, Tracy. I've read studies. It's definitely a thing. Came into the Cleavage chat and wondered if I clicked on the wrong live. Pam. Not the wrong live. I went to John Lewis in scruffy clothes and they were super rude to me. When the next week in a suit and they couldn't be more helpful. Ooh, that made me so mad. We once went to, we used to go walking, my mom and me, my brother and my auntie. I want to say my grandma, but I don't think she ever came. We used to go walking in Ilkley Moors. It was a thing, and we would go for a picnic. And obviously walking in the moors, you kind of look scruffy. But my mom always had like nice stuff. She had like a nice, it would have been like Timberland or something like that, but not cheap stuff. But we were dressed for walking. We weren't dressed for like anything else. And we stopped at this shop that was right by there. It wasn't, it was like a countryside shop. It's not like randomly walking into Harrods. It was adjacent to the walking trails. We went in there and they totally had a Pretty Woman moment. My auntie asked how much something was, and they gave her basically a very expensive line. And my mom wrote a letter of complaint to that place because they were livid the way that they were treated in there. It was absolutely crazy. And then I remember on the way back, my mom was always driving my dad's company car. And on the way back, my mom saw a little spanner sign on the dashboard. And we were fairly far away from home, and she didn't really love to drive. And I remember we were all looking through all the booklets in the car trying to work out what a spanner meant, because to her she was like, there's like a nut missing somewhere, something's fallen off the car. Okay, well, I was still kind of planning on using that light, to be honest. Do I have to turn the car on to get the light back? Yeah. Okay. Well, here we are. Anyway, it needed a service. It was due a service, that was all it was. So, yeah, we were pulled over for quite a long time. Not a great time. Also, one of the times we were on a walk, someone broke into our house. There was one guy when I was a kid. We didn't live in a particularly rough area, but when I was a kid, the same guy broke into our house. Held off the final court case until he was 18 so they could try him as an adult. I remember that. Even from being a child, I remember that snippet of information. But we were out all day, and I remember my dad got home and the police were in the house, and his first thought, we were all dead. That's what he thought. So, yeah, memories of being a child. You would have been a lot less ladylike if he'd called you a cretin. Honestly, things like that, the older I get, I wish I could go back and relive them, because I'm really proud of how I dealt with that. But now I would be even more enraged. I was listening to Alanis Morissette when I drove Milo home from school, because I feel like that's educational for him. We're listening to Jagged Little Pill, and I was saying, I recently was talking about this, and I remember it like forming my youth. And I talked to someone about it, and they said, surely you were too young. I'm like, no, I must have been like 14. I was 11 when that came out, and I was obsessed. Same auntie, alcoholic. Makes sense. All of the stories come to make sense once you know this. Yeah, she bought me that. It was definitely parental advisory and not appropriate at all, but I love that album so much. But I was saying to her, this is why women of a certain age are so angry, because this is what we used to listen to in our formative years. This was like, we've got all of this pent up rage and nowhere to put it. Nowhere. Last weekend I was out, got a bit dressed up, and saw someone I know. I said, oh, Trace, you've had a glow up. That is so rude. I know that's not what you're saying, but that is so rude. That's like when I go somewhere and they go, oh, you look well. And I think I just always look shit. That's what you're saying. I get the same when I'm shopping in New York. I went to a particular watch shop and got a snotty sales assistant. Oh my God. We went to Bloomingdale's and we were looking at the watches with Emma and Chris. This must be 10 years ago. Maybe more than 10 years ago. We were looking at the watches, like the real fancy watches. And they literally directly said to us, I don't know if it was aimed at us altogether, but we always say it to Chris, I think you're looking for the fashion watches, they're downstairs. Can you imagine? Just so rude. So rude. You're trying to make money. You're trying to sell things. My mom used to play that music too. Claire, what do you mean your mom used to listen to Alanis Morissette? Or was it more like Tori Amos? What was the first song you loved? Oh, that's a great question, Caroline. First song you loved and what song you love now? Do you mean like First song that you loved that you still love. Because recently when Emma bought me an LP of Cher for my birthday, it just triggered in me one of my very, very first CDs that I ever, well, I didn't buy it. It came from my, this is so weird how I got my musical things. So it came, I remember it came in a box with headphones. It was a Cher album. But I'm like 99% sure it came from my grandma. And my dad bought all the presents from my grandma. Because he would ring me up and be like, I'm in HMV, what do you want for Christmas? Whatever. He'd be in Meadowhall at lunchtime because he worked in Sheffield. And be like, what do you want from grandma for Christmas? And he would just randomly choose things for me. Like he bought me 3 albums. 2 of them can I remember. It was J-Lo, the J-Lo album. Same year as, oh my God, it'll come to me. I always think of these 2 albums as like intertwined. Anyway, he randomly would pick things. My dad's got pretty good taste. If my dad like went and bought clothes, I would like them. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, it came in a box. I don't know why. I don't know if I had expressed an interest in receiving parcels. I do know that my auntie once did send me, we went to buy my present, and it was shoes. It was like, they were sandals and they were like metallic snakeskin strappy sandals. I'll never forget these shoes. And I remember having told her like I wanted to get parcels or I wanted to get mail and I never get mail. And she sent it to me in the post, which was cute. But I don't know why I got the headphones and the Cher thing in a box. Unless it didn't, I don't know. I've just got a memory of them being in like a shipping box. So that was exciting. And so Cher, I would say, that was a real long-winded answer. What did you expect? Cher, anything by Cher, really. Save Up All Your Tears is one of my favourites. That whole greatest hits, Cher's greatest hits, where it's like on the lace background and she's wearing the lace. Whenever I listen to it in the car, Milo's always like, this lady. This lady knows what's what. I never really thought about it because when you listen to stuff in the car, it shows the picture of the album and that was like fairly risque picture of Cher in the lace bodysuit. But yeah, that's again very kind of like female ragey, isn't it? We're getting old. We are. What are you watching at the moment? Rewatching Scandal. So I'm going to be rewatching Scandal as soon as I finish Grey's Anatomy. That will be my work rewatch. I like to have a show that I am only watching while I work because it helps me switch into work mode. It helps me go into like when I turn it on, I can't explain it, but I go into like focus mode because I was trying to say this to Lee the other day because I can sleep with noise and I can sleep with TV and he struggles and now we don't. Now we sleep in silence, which honestly I never thought would ever happen. Pitch black silence. It's nuts. I slept with the TV on for my entire life. I went to Hong Kong. I came back. Lee just didn't put the TV on that night and we've never put it on ever since. That was September last year. Bananas. But he said the other day, like, I can sleep with so much noise. And I said, it's because there's so much noise in my head. There's like literally conversation in my head all the time. And when the TV's on, if I can sink into that, then the noise in my head turns off because that then replaces that noise. And I think that's the thing when I'm watching something. It can't be something I've never seen before because then that'll take too much of my focus. But if it's something that I have watched, like Grey's Anatomy, a million times, I'm on like my probably 4th or 5th full rewatch. It's just a background show. Don't get me wrong, when people die, I cry. I'm like, please no one ring me on Teams. But it's a background show that my mind can listen to so that it's not whirring. That's what that is. Mr. Vane, I was destined to be a clobber or a raver. I went out underage and got bored of it when it became legal. Do you know what I've been saying to Lee recently? I think I could have been a raver. It wasn't for me. My friends were not into that. But as I've gotten older, I'm really interested in going out sober. I think, honestly, I mean, give it some time because it's very, very early. But I may never drink again, which is crazy because I love a cocktail and I love making a cocktail. And I don't know if I want to give that up. I don't, but I also want to not drink again. But then I don't want to, I don't know, it's so, it's so hard to put those things together. But the longer I go, maybe I just won't care about that. Maybe I'll find something to replace it with. I don't know. But I really like the idea of going out and just dancing late at night, sober. I'm rewatching Gavin and Stacey. Me, Lee, and Milo watched Gavin and Stacey all the way from the beginning at Christmas because Milo had never seen it before. So we watched it leading up to watching the final. Our neighbour, when I was growing up, wrote songs that were on the Cher album in the 1970s. That's incredible. That's an amazing claim to fame. I have sleep headphones that are super comfortable. I can literally sleep on my side. Wow. Tracy, send me the link. Please send me the link. The headphones that I bought, they are Soundcore, which is Anchor. I replaced my only thing is the cord is not as long. So when I watch stuff, they are Bluetooth, but when I'm doing something and I'm recording at the same time, there's an audio lag. So if I'm listening to my own voice while I'm recording, you need to plug them in rather than have them Bluetooth. Otherwise, then there's a delay, which is kind of annoying. So the only thing with the Soundcore ones is the cord is not really long enough, so we need to get a replacement. Otherwise, they are just as good, if not better, than my old Bose ones. And they are so comfortable. I wore them on my flight home from Hong Kong. And also, this speaks to how amazing the Bluetooth is, the length of time that they worked for. Put them on in the airport in Hong Kong. My entire flight to home, it's 14 hours or something crazy. And then in the airport, getting back to London King's Cross, from King's Cross to Doncaster, I did not take those headphones off. Maybe momentarily, but for almost 100% of the time, had my headphones on, playing something for all of that time. Probably I don't know, 20 hours or something crazy. And they were completely comfortable. I also slept with them on when we were in New York because we had quite a low down room and I found it really hard to sleep. Never had that problem in New York before, but the street noise was really loud. So because the noise cancelling was on, I didn't even have anything playing. I just had the noise cancelling and that worked really well. Oh, these are Soundcore too, but they're flat. Yes, I will look at the link. Just say you won't drink for now. You can drink, but not right now. This is the thing. I don't want to say I'm not drinking because I feel like it's very all or nothing. And I don't want to feel like if I have a drink, then I'll just, oh, well, whatever. I'll just kind of go back to my old habits and get too drunk when I'm out. I don't want to ever have more than one drink, but I also kind of just don't want to drink at all. I don't know. Right now, I'm going to say I'm soberish. Blows my mind that not everyone has a constant internal monologue. I never shut up in there. 100%. 100%. It's never ending. Oh, do you know what as well? Do you do this? Because I thought about this last night and thought, this feels insane. And it's one of the reasons that I absolutely am going to write the book I have an idea for this year. Because when I'm going to sleep, my mind invents stories. And I'm basically telling myself stories that are so insane and with so many twists and turns that I think, how am I imagining these things? How are these things in my mind? There's just craziness. Absolute craziness. Have you seen the adverts for the Over 30s Club? No. But now I'm going to have to Google it. I don't envy you sat in the car. I've just put my recycling out and nearly had a meltdown from the cold. It is cold. It is. Do you know what? Karen brought me to work today. She's made me an amazing, it's huge, an amazing blanket. And she's made Manny a matching one. I'll post a picture after this. I'll post it on Instagram. Would I be right in saying you love the drink and enjoy the fun side of it? Just take the feeling crappy after. So if you could drink and feel normal the next day, would you still not want to drink? No, I'll tell you what I love. I love to have the drink. I do not like feeling drunk ever. So it's not the hangover and it's not the anxiety. Those things 100% are factors as to why I don't want it. But if I could drink all night and never feel more than one drink, then yes, I would. If that was the most I ever felt. So ideally, I have one drink and then only drink soft drinks. That's the solution to that, because then no anxiety, no hangover, and know, like, oh God, was I embarrassing? What did I do? None of that. The problem is because and the word is manic. So people in the past have been like, you can't use that word. That is what it is. That is what it is. It is an uncontrollable energy. And it gets worse when I'm in social situations. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. I don't know the line between that energy and feeling drunk. And so I find it really, really hard to know when I've had enough, to know, oh, you've got to stop. Usually by the time I know I've got to stop, I've already had too much. And so then I start to spiral in my mind and I'm like, oh God, I've embarrassed myself. This is all, and I can't bring it back from there. And sometimes it's not even that much, but there's nothing you can do once it's happened. Oh, Pam, thank you. You also have the crazy lucid dreams and the crazy stories. That makes me feel better. I actually told myself to shut up out loud one day. I'm sure my colleagues think I'm crazy. Do you know what? I had my AirPods in today and it kept coming up with all of these notifications, and I'm sitting really close to my boss now. And it would be like, so-and-so has sent a long notification. Do you want to hear it? And then every now and then I would just say out loud, no. I was like, if he can hear me, if he notices that randomly in the middle of the workday, I'm just going, just like, type. No. Type. No. Like low level voice. It's even weirder maybe that I'm trying to like sneak to myself. No. It's creepy. When I get the hiccups, I know I need to stop. It's the next day anxiety and secret sadness that I struggle with. That was the beginning of it for me. And then over time, I feel like I recognized what the problem was with me not recognizing when I'd had enough. And then when you've got the low level of sadness and the anxiety, it makes you overthink everything. And so I never ever, I was saying this to Milo earlier on, the way I behave is probably not massively impacted by the alcohol, because in a social situation, I just lose it. I'm just manic. That is, if you saw me at my work's Christmas party, you would have thought I was on something. Looking back, I mean, someone said, I was vlogging after the fact, and someone said my eyes were like saucers, like I was so wired. And I didn't have a drop of anything. And if I had had a drink the way I behaved at my Christmas party, I would be mortified. But because I didn't have a drink, I'm not embarrassed at all, because I know that was just me. And so I'm not embarrassed I feel good about who I am now. I'm not embarrassed about that. But if I'd had a drink, I'd have been like, God, I really embarrassed myself. And other people would have been like, oh God, I bet she's really embarrassed because she was so drunk. But I wasn't so drunk. It's just who I am. Just a crazy person. Would have been even funnier if he was about to ask me to do something. Yeah, if my boss was like, and I was like, no. Ooh, question, did you address the seating arrangement at work? Great question, Joe. Literally today I did. I got there and I went to sit somewhere and someone was like, you can't sit there, so-and-so sits there. And I lost it slightly because I'm like, this is a hot desk. If I can't sit here, where can I sit? And then I went up to my boss and was like, I've had enough of this now. Find me somewhere to sit. And he was kind of a bit, And then someone else said, no one ever sits in this seat. And I was like, that's my desk now. Then later on, my boss said, don't I look after you? And I said, under duress. I'm socially hyper and people often can't tell whether I've been drinking or not. Right, totally. My mum is exactly the same. And my mum said she was driving one night and they were all gone out with work or whatever. And then obviously must have been at work on Monday morning, whatever. And someone said, God, you'd had a lot to drink on Saturday night. And my mum was like, no, I didn't. And they were like, yeah, you were so drunk. And mum said, well, don't tell that to the 3 people I took home. It is, I think I do get it from my mum. My dad's a real entertainery type guy. They're both very similar in that way. But my mum is definitely, she gets the same way that I get. And so it's good to know that's not just me, because I get that from her as well. I've had someone take my keys off me when I was stone cold sober. Wow. That's incredible. That is incredible. I have thought of, I mean, while I was out at Christmas, I did think a few times, like, because we work in the rail industry, it's so zero tolerance for any substance abuse. And I was a little bit nervous that people might have thought I was taking something. You can be randomly tested. A white van turns up one day and they're like, 4 people, go. And it is 0. Like, you can be legal to drive. You could have been drinking the night before, legal to drive, and lose your job. Because it's not just zero tolerance. It is zero tolerance, but it is like 0 alcohol in your system. 0. People used to say, oh, you're a bit much. And there was an awkward silence. Go find less. I love go find less. I love go find less. I don't know if Elise Myers made that up or if she just popularized it, but I love go find less. Glad you sorted your work desk saga out. That was vexing. Facts. Thank you. It was really, really starting to bother me. And I tell you, the thing that really bothered me the most was they said if you came in 1 more day a week, we could get you a desk. And I thought, that now I'm not going to do that. That really wound me up. They were having none of it that I hadn't drunk a drop. Yeah, I can see it. I can see that happening completely. 100%. But I don't know. I think the thing with alcohol, I found some really nice alcohol-free lagers now, and I don't feel like I'd miss lager, which was the hardest hurdle. But I do really like a cocktail. And I think if I can find some really fun cocktails to make, like that feel special, I can still make like mocktail style cocktails. I think I'll be okay with it, because when people come round, they tend to bring their own drinks anyway. So it doesn't really impact me socially. It's just that I liked to do that, and I like to do it. I like to drink cocktails. Late one night, I got pulled over by the police, totally sober. Managed to fall out of the car onto all 4s. They must have thought they hit the jackpot. That's hilarious. Right, I am going to go now because I've seen all of the pickleball guys go in, and that is my sign that the boys will be out any minute now. Also, Tracy, if the sound is starting to go not quite right, maybe that's a sign as well. Oh, no Prosecco, alcohol-free Prosecco. That's really good. I didn't like Prosecco to begin with. I have got an alcohol-free Prosecco in the fridge that I bought for my birthday. And I didn't have it. I think I might have it the weekend for like Valentine's. I think I might do Valentine's on Thursday, actually, because Friday I'm having some dental work, which should be fun. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. Don't tell my dentist. I'm living on Lucozade again. Listen, it is what it is. I have started doing my stretches and my strength training, but we can only do so many things. We don't do so many things. Oh, mocktail video, please. Can't drink as it makes me really ill. Perimenopause. I'm going to get all into this. I'm going on like a personal essay streak. If anyone's interested at all, if you used to read my blog and you ever enjoyed any of my like personal essay stuff, my Substack now is where it's at. It is called Desperately Seeking. If you search my first name on Substack, you will find me. I'm doing a minimum of 1 post per week. It's like a newsletter that comes to your email. So you don't even have to have the app. It'll just come straight to you. Minimum of 1 post per week that is free to subscribers, just free subscribers, minimum. I may do a few more. There's also going to be like a weekly podcast that is specifically dedicated to my countdown to 40. I'm going to do 40 things before I turn 40, and I'm going to, that's going to be like a fun thing to catch up with you every week. And then there's going to be, so that's on Monday. And then every Wednesday and Friday, there's going to be a post just for paid subscribers. So if you have ever felt like financially supporting me in any way, you can pay £5 a month to my Substack, and you will get all of the posts over there. But it's going to be very, very personal, essay heavy, because I realized that's what I love to do the most on my blog, and I felt like it never really, we never really fit with the other content that I was posting. And in my lead up to 40, I'm very reflective. I'm very self-helpy. I always have been, really. And so now Desperately Seeking is my kind of midlife journal of sorts. And we're getting into lots of things and all of the perimenopause, all of it. Right, anyway, I'm really going to go now because I'm going to seeing them come out. So thank you so much for keeping me company while I was hanging out in the car. And I will see you guys probably next in Sunday's vlog. But I am going to just ad hoc rock up live on this channel. We'll do Sunday's vlog and we'll do random lives. I'm not going to schedule them. They just are when they are. So if we happen upon each other, fabulous. If not, I'll see you